Yeah, it's me, Blackout AD, Jbirdy. We're back with episode 4, Heels Review. We literally just finished watching this. Initial,
Literally.
yeah, literally. Initial thoughts, Bird. How'd you feel about today's
Epi-
episode?
Episode was good. It pushed the story along very well. Um, I think we're gonna get the collab pay-per-view season finale.
Yeah,
I think that's gonna
that's what it
be
seems like.
that's gonna be like the big thing. Um, we just watched the episode. And I'm trying to remember what we saw.
uh,
I did like the shout out AJ Lee, hell of a cameo. Hell of a cameo. I don't know what she's wrestling as now because she wrestles in something independent
yeah,
thing, but you know, top three greatest female wrestlers of all time. A shout out for CM Punk grabbing that bag. But I did like that they showed what the old school wrestlers went through.
yeah. I fucked with that aspect of the episode.
Yeah, and that one guy is all fucked up and he's just in a daze all the time.
But I
And,
mean, in the episode, it kind of felt like it felt like he was leading on more. Like the brother felt like he was like taking care of him,
mhm.
but it felt like he was more aware than even the brother was like leading on, early on in the
Yeah,
episode.
absolutely,
Because
absolutely.
even while Bill said he's like, there's still some fight in you. But
Hmm.
to start off the episode, we get Jack and his wife getting it on. Ace still in the basement after he comes back. He's still kind of on his arc, which the way they took it by the end of the episode, I got to tip the cap because that was
Right.
definitely a cool entrance. But overall, I think my thoughts on the episode is the inside baseball you get with this, and even though they're like showing us the backstory of what's going on, I like how in the wrestling match there's still elements that we don't know is gonna happen. So it
Oh
feels
yeah,
like
yeah.
we're watching a wrestling match still, even though we're following the characters on their day to day basis leading up to the match. Obviously Crystal has to relinquish the actual belt, but they did create a women's division, like you said. The cameo of them bringing in another women wrestler really showed like where I think it gave Crystal like kind of like that come to Jesus moment where it's like, oh shit, I'm not as good as I have been the past couple shows. Like I really got to step it up if I want to and continue this. And even like again, you see how Wild Bill his generation ended up. But
Hmm.
even with like that scene with Crystal and in the show she's called El Dorado. But in the
Yeah.
show, Crystal El Dorado's moment where she gives her the ibuprofen, she's like, it keeps me off. It kind of shows you like the what's leads up to like Wild Bill's generation, which is kind of dope
Hmm.
because you get that perspective. But I think, and I don't know. I mean, obviously, I'm not like you in terms of wrestling. I don't know shit. But is this like conversations that don't necessarily happen in the wrestling world, like in terms of like Wild Bill's generation?
They talking about how they end up all fucked up.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, that generation of wrestler, everything that happened, doesn't never came to the public eye.
yeah,
Even today, when people do podcasts and interviews, there's certain stories that they just don't tell.
yeah.
There's certain things that they just don't talk about because there is a deep brotherhood when it came to that generation. You know what I'm saying? They lived their character like he was like that's why he told Wild Bill, he goes, you had the balls to go big.
Yeah.
He's like, I was okay with taking the costume off, and using it like a cape. He goes, you were able to be this all the time.
I thought that was a powerful scene because you could see like in Wild Bill, like even when Diego comes back with the martinis, and he's like, Wild Bill's like, I'm not getting off the horse. Like you could tell, like that's something he probably battles with his whole life.
Hmm.
Especially post his probably pop in terms of his career, right? Like that's probably something he's been like turning it off. It's the same thing that Ace kind of was discussing last episode, where he's like, I don't know who I am outside of sports. Same thing for
Yeah.
Wild Bill, So in that moment was like a real moment for Wild Bill. Like I'm not giving up, and I think even him telling asking Willie at the end of the episode about the apartment is like him trying to maybe open that door, take that step through.
Yeah. Yeah, it advances life past wrestling.
Yeah.
You know, what do you think's going on with that Willie situation
All right.
with the
So
bread?
that I have no clue. Obviously, Jack knows about it. So
Maybe.
that's no. I mean, when he or when Jack's wife, because this is how it's gonna unravel in my head. Jack knows about it. Whatever it is, it might be. Who knows? It could be anything. I think it might be extortion. It's in some form, right? Like
Yeah.
now, why she drank, why Willie drank, and then like they kind of like put her. It almost like took her out of the episode because maybe because her last couple episodes, especially the last episode, she was the main like person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she was like a focal character. So maybe this was their way of like just taking her out of the stories to let other people's narratives go on. But I think obviously Jack and his wife are trying to fix it, and I think this is going to be another thing that he hid from the wife, that the wife might, still continue to.
Yeah.
That just continues that arc of them growing as a couple. At least that's how I look. I don't think it's gonna do. I don't think it has anything to affect in terms of like Willie like leaving the. Like I don't think it's like big ramifications. I do think though it's for the relationship aspect because otherwise, why is she the one finding out?
Yeah.
If it was like a Willie thing, I think it would be Jack finding out like what the fuck's going on. Why the fuck you using the DWO money for that? To me, he knows. But we'll see. Maybe it's a deal that the father got in that they can't get out of.
Yeah.
Something like
Maybe.
that. It's just something.
Yeah.
Who knows? Literally, who knows? But what the Ace? How'd you feel about Ace's storyline? Like having the moment with the nephew, doing the little wrestling, then going to the DWO, even though conveniently nobody's there. Like
Yeah.
literally not one
Yeah.
person there. He's over here wrestling by himself in the middle of the ring. But
Taking
like,
bumps.
what do you feel? What do you feel about that storyline?
I think that's going to be the best part of the whole thing.
Yeah,
He's going to come back with the black hair, the makeup around the eyes. I
the
am
arrow.
redemption.
I am
Yeah,
arrow.
dude. I am Arrow. Batman. Um, you know, I am redemption.
What's his name? The
You know,
Condemned.
the condemned.
I like how he entered. All right, before we get to how he entered as the Condemned, what do you think about the collab card? You think it's gonna be as sick as like it can be? I mean, I feel
I
like they're
think it's
doing
going.
everything right.
I think it's gonna be pretty nuts. I'm excited to see who they decide is gonna win because
Yeah,
like they were already talked about it. Like I mentioned last week, they talked about it at dinner at the diner right now. Like, well, what's the ending?
yeah,
Oh, probably a split decision. That way both parties can walk out. And he's like, yeah, but there's no pop in that. But all the other guy wants to do is capitalize on the one time thing. And Jack is like, everything needs a storyline. He's like,
yeah.
I don't even know what the beef. Like, what are we talking about?
Well, I mean,
You know?
because for Jack, I mean, they make it abundantly clear, right? Like two different styles of putting on
Hmm.
shows. But for Jack, the story is everything.
Yeah.
Like they come back from that one time card, and he's gonna have to continue whatever storyline happened in that card,
Hmm.
or going forward for the DWL. But for the Florida League, it's more so like that was just a card. This week, here's more mayhem.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think, I mean, obviously Jack's gonna fight. I think they're both gonna fight for one of their guys. Like Rooster's probably gonna be the one that the Florida League wants
Main
to win.
event.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then obviously the Condemned, and we seen in the trailer going forward, he's like, I want Crystal and the Condemned in my ring. And now,
Hmm.
do you think Jack has a problem with the Condemned story, like that plot,
Nah,
like
I think that's
initially?
um. I don't know, man, because he's a changed dude now. Or he's trying to
He's
be,
trying to be, yeah. That's
and
one
I
thing.
think
That's
he
one thing we did
knows
mention.
that he's going to that storyline is fire. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not a DWL wrestler. I am the condemned. I'm here to get my what's coming to
Redemption.
me, dude. You know, my comeuppance.
Now, I want to know how that came about because obviously, he goes to Crystal. Now, do you think him and Crystal are gonna have something again?
Some relations.
Yeah, it feels like
Um, may no, I don't think so. I think she likes Bobby.
I do think Bob is a good guy.
I think her and Bobby are a good Dorfit couple.
Nice little Duff couple,
Yeah.
wrestling couple.
They're not related, so the rest of people might think it's kind of weird. But
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like, I mean, obviously she told him right off the bat. If she would have lied, it would have been a little different. Like she didn't say anything, but she told him right off the bat. He was like, "Is that a big deal?" And she's like, "For him, but not." So like that was kind of like the confirmation of like she's gonna stick with Bobby, but they do have some kind of chemistry, huh?
Does it condemn to heel?
Interesting. No, I think Jack stays the heel.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might be like an anti-hero.
Yeah.
Like depending on whatever the match needs, he can fill that role. Because again, that's kind of Ace in a nutshell in this in the series is like he can clearly play the face, but he can also be a great heel. So like
that wrestler that I showed you on the wall, Sting, the one they showed you the championship of, he had the character that Ace is playing now was almost his real life character, which is pretty funny that they show you him on the wall and then
I mean, obviously, there's got to be some kind of like. I mean, you even called out like the Ric Flair the strut. Like they clearly, or at least from my perspective, it feels like the characters they do have, they took inspiration from.
Yeah. Jack is like Stone Cold with a vest and the gear.
Even the gear,
yeah. The Tank was hard. The Tank promo was dope.
Oh, the promo was hard. Even the Rooster joint was good.
Yeah. Except for the ending when he walked off with
the. He said,
like, go on, bro. Come on, Sal. Go back in the back. Sal games are over.
No, I did like how they utilized that promo like while the crowd's going. Because again, one thing you cannot deny about Jack's writing is he gets the crowd involved. Somehow. Always gets the crowd involved. And I like how obviously they're doing the women's division and you see like they're putting emphasis more on the women in the crowd. Like if like that population of fan is growing now. That's gonna again, every episode we see a new upgrade. I mean, we saw the fucking benches outside Duffy Wrestling League.
We saw the debut of the TV this episode.
Oh yeah, they did. Yeah.
Yeah. The crowd reaction is hilarious, though. Rip her face off! Traitor! Yeah, traitor!
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like especially from season 1, what definitely stepped up is the matches. Like the color commentary on the side, and like how now Bill's like doing the color commentary, but also wrestling, and then coming back like, I don't know what's going on with him. Like, what was the guy's name? Rabies.
Rick Rabies.
Rick Rabies.
It's me, Bill.
He's foaming out the mouth. He bit his ear off.
The Duffy Dome fills up every week now.
Yep.
Doug Duffy Dome, owner of the Dimsdale Duffy Dome.
No, they're making bread.
Yeah,
they're making bread. I mean,
not whoever they're paying off with that thing.
Jeez, that was a fucking blackout tab on a Tuesday night.
Yeah, it's talking about.
But
pull up if you think you can enjoy it.
Yeah, but we're not liable if you can't.
Yeah. We are the heels.
Nah, I do. Like I said, the matches though, like today's match to me was the best of the season so far. But
women's match,
huh? No, I think just in general, like the women's match was good, but just like the whole vibe of that scene, right? Like Brewster coming out doing his promo, and then even taking the belt, and then how the Condemned came in. Now, when the Condemned came in, I was like, God damn it! And I tried to see like your reaction. I was like, oh, he's fucking with it too. Like that shit look alright. Yeah. He comes in, has the voice changer, has the arrow all makeup. Black. I can't. Yeah, all black like a fucking shooter.
Yeah, that's a real caca.
Yeah, man. I don't. I mean, going forward though, like next week's definitely gonna be more of like them. I think ironing out what's gonna happen for the big show, because they said
they just don't slow down, dude. They just keep coming with greatness that they've been giving us so far.
The season, I mean, the writing definitely feels like it stepped up. No, even like you mentioned it in the episode when we were watching, but the comedic lines in this episode are fire. Like, what was the guy? He's like, "Hey, we got a new guy. We trying out new guys." He's got a.
I forgot the song. Tron get a physical thing going? You wanna try it out? No? Alright, kid,
All
sorry. Try
right,
again
sorry,
next time.
sorry. That shit was hilarious, bro. You just standing there like, no.
Uh, alright. The dad character is funny, his name is Dad.
Fuck it,
You
yeah.
know?
Now, what do you think is gonna happen with like Wild Bill's storyline? It seems like, to be honest,
I think I don't know, man. I think something happens. Maybe the pay-per-view is not the season finale. Maybe it's like episode 8, and then the exposure, Wild Bill leaves again or leaves right before the car to go to the company up north.
what if he dies?
Oh, Wild Bill, death of Bill. Or he gets hurt in the ring. His next match, he gets hurt in the ring, hurts his back or
So
something.
he gets so hurt he has to leave wrestling.
Yeah. Or he doesn't. He gets hurt enough that he has to think about his future.
Yeah,
You know.
but I
Then,
don't know. Again, it seems like they're doing well with the growth, right, of like Wild Bill's character.
Yeah.
Even him starting the podcast, and like I do think him and Diego are gonna have some beef, especially after like the martini scene. Like you could tell, like he was like whatever you fucking say. Like you could tell he was already getting a little tired of him. But he was also with Wild Bill all day. He seems like a annoying kind of guy when you're with him for 17 hours and
minutes.
shit.
Yeah.
But I do think they're gonna build that arc. Maybe he becomes like more so like what's that? It's like the
a
fucking
mentor-ish
that
manager.
either that or like like one of those managers that's in the ring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a character kind of like that. Like he transitions from actually wrestling to like still being a part of the show. He still can enjoy I mean, he loves the fame, obviously. So maybe he still enjoys that, but I don't know. There's definitely going to be something big with him towards the end of the season. I feel at least that's what they're building on because they're giving him a lot of screen time. They're making us like kind of care about him with the writing. Like I think that martini scene was a very powerful scene because it was like him coming to terms like, damn, these were my peers, and like, yeah, like I'm continuing to do it, but like that could be my fate. I mean, he even like choked up when he was like, I don't want to end up like, and didn't want to say it,
Yeah, I'm not gonna get off the goddamn horse.
Yeah. So.
But yes, the episode I'd probably give it like an 8-8.
8-8.
Yeah.
Yeah, like an 8-5, 8-6. Pretty good, man.
It was a good ep.
I think so far this season, every episode has stepped up.
I think so. Yeah. The production of the show, the wrestling matches, the storylines are evolving. Funny enough, pretty much every question we have every week gets answered the next week.
Later.
Like, is this collab gonna happen? It is. It's happening.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see Crystal pull up to the Florida dystopia thing.
Shit.
Yeah.
You think she leaves?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. She could though.
She could with Bobby. Bobby's a good guy though.
Bobby's good. I hope. Hey, Bobby's a good guy, dude. Unless Bobby get it on with El Dorado.
Hey, Punk would never let that happen. Ricky Rabies. It's funny though. She had the Chuck boots on, the Converse boots on. Yeah. That's like her calling card in real life.
Oh, word?
That's like her thing. Yeah, like the Converse boots is like her thing. So shout out
I
to
knew
that,
I knew you would know her, but when you didn't initially say anything, I was like, I guess she's not big. Because I thought when I watched the clip, I was reading comments and they were saying like they said her name, but I didn't. Obviously, I don't know. So I was like, I guess she's kind of low.
Yeah. She's like really good, dude. And then Vince McMahon fired CM Punk on their wedding day. Yeah. But yeah, the episode was good, dude. I'm happy with the direction the show is going. The bad part is we watch it so quickly that I have to wait a whole 7 days to watch it again.
Yeah, right. Like there's no
episode buffer.
We might have to watch it again.
Yeah, dude. Like
do a second review. Do a second review.
Like, yo, 2 bites, everybody. 2 views, everybody knows the rules.
Fuck, man. Yeah, episode was great. Yo, we want to say we're gonna end it here, but we want to say thank you for the love. The last 3 episodes.
Get the views popping.
Like,
share, subscribe, comment.
Yep.
We're very active down low.
We'll
you
talk
say
back.
something. We'll talk back. Hot takes, cold takes, warm takes. Put them in the comments down below.
Tell us what you thought about Crystal's cheeks.
Yeah.
Those made an appearance today.
Double cheeked up on a Friday night.
Crazy, dude. Rip her face
know?
off.
Rip her face off, you know.
But
yeah,
yo,
shout out to y'all and your support.
for sure. Catch us on the late night with AD and Jbirdy every week. We stream it Monday nights around 12 p.m. Eastern time, and it releases at 4 p.m. Oh yeah, 12 a.m. Eastern time. 12 a.m. because it's a late night. And then we release it Tuesday, 4 p.m. on the YouTube channel Blackout GG. Check us out there. AD,
Sleep on it.
Jbirdy, sleep on it, boys. Episode 4, Heels. Great episode.